Before Brexit happened, I wasn't really interested in politics that much, and it's kind of inspired me to take it for an A-level, and it's now inspired what I want to do with my life, the career choices that I want to make, and just I think it's made me more aware and given me much more of an opinion.
Ever since Brexit, I definitely am more involved in politics.
It was definitely Brexit, the EU referendum, that got me into politics. Very much so.
Well, I think it's probably changed the way I think about politics in that I now realise that there's so much work to be done, so that if a similar vote took place in 30 years, we hopefully wouldn't be in the same position.
It's definitely in all of our conversations, just the conversations in politics, the debate, just outside, older people as well, just I think it's more present.
It made me think differently about kind of how different parts of the UK are to each other in terms of Scotland was completely 60% Remain, and you've got areas of Wales which are strong Leave areas, you've got areas of the southwest where there's strong Leave, and I think it made me change my opinion on how we weren't so united as a country.
Yeah, I would say Brexit's definitely made me more interested in politics and in politicians as well, sort of who the main players are, and to not take everything they're saying 100% as fact.
I've had quite an interest in politics for a long time now, but the vote actually was the first time I pulled an all-nighter to stay up and watch everything.
I was politically active before, but Brexit was definitely a key moment.
I think it's really shaped how I think about politics.
I don't feel that personally Brexit has a big impact on us as people. It affects the country overall, but maybe not directly at me.
I think to me it all came down to sovereignty, really. I mean, it was with the EU, our independence was taken. It's basically a bureaucracy now. We have an unelected commission running everywhere, the whole of the EU, and everything's comes off from that sovereignty, really.
Brexit is inevitable now. We've got to make the best out of what we have. As a young person, I think I'm really glad, I'm really happy for Brexit. I think it's going to be a very good thing, because I think in this country young people are faced with a housing crisis, which again I think has been partially caused by the EU.
I don't think we were given a proper explanation of what Brexit was. It's only now with Theresa May that we're actually finding out somewhat what's actually going to happen.
I'm hoping, obviously now that's happened, I'm hoping that it's going to be good for me, but I'm really not sure. There's loads of ambiguity over what's going to happen, but hopefully it goes well.
I think it's still a bit risky. We don't really know what we're going to get out of the deal with the EU, or whether it's going to be a hard or soft Brexit.
As far as how good Brexit will turn out for Britain, I'd like to be an optimist and say that it will eventually turn out well, but I feel like over the next couple of years, during the process and forming new trade deals, it may be hard and less beneficial in the short term, but in the long term I feel like ultimately it'll be a good thing.
Obviously it is this generation and the generations that will follow that really deal with these consequences. Like I heard my dad say, it's not my generation that that has to deal with this, it's yours.
I've always wanted a plan to go to Europe, travel, especially for the 2018 World Cup, which is in Russia. I've always wanted to go around there, follow the Welsh team, watch them play. But that'll obviously be affected as well, because there'll be tighter restrictions on free movement.
I think Brexit will be bad for me personally. If I want to get my doctoral degree, Brexit could impact sort of how I pick a university and what that university might offer me.
There has been a lot of opportunities for people in the UK when we were in the youth to go and work in the EU when we were older, but now I don't think that could really be a possibility, and that's sad because I think that would be good.
I'm looking at the opportunity of trying to study in America. Now obviously that means me going out rather than someone else coming in, and I think that it's easier for me to go out than someone else to come in. So in terms of my own prospects, it doesn't affect me that much. And studying in the UK, I don't think it's gonna change that very much either. But it might change my prospects in terms of the future in a job. I think maybe there'll be different jobs that open up, or maybe the jobs that I would like that might close down. It's really hard to say. I mean, I think the key word around Brexit these days is uncertainty.
Personally, if I think quite selfishly, it's going to hinder travelling restriction, you know. The freedom of being able to go from country to country within Europe has been something that I've been privileged to think of my whole life. I haven't had any restrictions within Europe ever since I've been born.
I think the people we meet from the EU that come over help us be more aware of different cultures, certainly, and make us more open-minded about different ways of life.
Nowadays, with all like terrorism, it does scare me who does come into this country, and I think having closed borders does make me feel a bit more safe in a way.
Sometimes I do worry for like my friends who have come from other countries to live here. I do worry for them sometimes.
I've had like friends who are from like, they're from like European countries, or their mother is stuff, and they've told me that like their parents have been like frightened and been almost like worried, trying to get all their paperwork, making sure they're like allowed, and like kind of probably like scaring themselves, and it's quite sad. Once we've lost the EU, I do worry that it will just be based around Britain and British politics. So being aware of Europe as a whole, and obviously the world on a larger scale, I think that's quite important as well.
There's no precedent case. We are going to be the precedent case. And I'm interested to see what is going to happen, but at the same time, I'm kind of worried for myself and for everyone my age.